Hey everyone, I've made this video to explain what the Bible means when it says not to touch the head of God's anointed. Most of this information is from gotquestions.com, but I made some adjustments to make it simpler. Here is the context of 1 Chronicles 16:22. David is publicly praising God by giving a short review of the miraculous history of Israel. He cites some of the miracles God performed to fulfill his promises to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Through these miracles, God created a nation of Abraham's children that would bless the entire world. No one and nothing could prevent God's promise from being fulfilled. In the verses leading up to God's command, "Do not touch my anointed ones," we read this: "When they were but few in number, few indeed, and strangers in it, they wandered from nation to nation, from one kingdom to another. He allowed no one to oppress them. For their sake he rebuked kings." 1 Chronicles 16:19-21. This passage refers to what we call the patriarchs. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, when they were few in number, they lived as wandering strangers in a strange land. Through all their travels, God protected them, increased their number, and prevented the powerful rulers of the lands where they stayed from harming them. For example, God protected Abraham twice while staying in hostile nations whose kings came after his wife. Neither king laid a finger on Abraham or Sarah, but instead sent the couple away unharmed and even helped them. The same happened to Isaac. Jacob arrived in a foreign land with nothing, but he left with many riches. Genesis 31:7. After all his dealings with his uncle, Jacob said, "God has not allowed him to harm me." So the point of 1 Chronicles 16:22 and Psalm 105:15 is that nothing and no one can derail God's will. God had a plan for Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and he refused to let the kings of Canaan and Egypt injure them. For their sake he rebuked kings. "Do not touch my anointed ones." The patriarchs were his prophets. They were his anointed ones. That is, God chose them to accomplish a specific work in the world. The command from God, "Do not touch my anointed ones, do my prophets no harm," was for a specific group of people for a specific time. No one today can properly quote 1 Chronicles 16:22 to deflect criticism or silence challengers. No apostle in the New Testament ever told anyone, "Do not touch God's anointed," as a means of protecting himself from the judgment of other people. The fact is that all believers today are God's anointed. We are all set apart for the work God is accomplishing in this world. 1 John chapter 2, verse 20. 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 21 and 22. And it is God who establishes us with you in Christ, and has anointed us, and who has also put his seal on us, and given us his Spirit in our hearts as a guarantee. Since all believers are God's anointed, does this mean that his command, "Do not touch my anointed ones," keeps us from all harm? No, believers still suffer the effects of living in a fallen world, but at the same time, believers know that God is 100% in control and he can easily protect his children. Whatever happens to them is allowed by him. Satan himself can't lay a finger on God's children without God's explicit permission. See Job 1:12 and 2:6. So we trust God in everything, no matter what happens in our lives. We trust that God is in control and will equip, empower, and protect us to complete his plan for us. Philippians 1:6. I am sure of this, that he who began a good work in you will bring it to completion at the day of Jesus Christ. God bless.